The Inclusive Communities Humanitarian event is one of our community's oldest and most revered award celebrations. The tradition began in 1955 and it continues this year. The date, April 2nd, when 3 people and organizations will be recognized for their commitments. Liz Codina and Cammy Watkins are here with our preview. It's nice to see both of you. I want to start with the mission because even though you've been around for a long time, I hadn't heard about inclusive communities until probably maybe 5-6 years ago. And I thought, what's this new organization up to? Yeah. I was like, oh, Mary, you're a little behind. What is the mission?
So Inclusive Communities combats prejudice, bigotry, and discrimination in town, and we do this through educational programming. So we work with youth, adults, and also businesses in town.
Give me a specific example of a place where you feel like you're making really great progress and maybe one of the programs that's making that happen.
Sure. So we have a 4-day leadership program for high school students in town, and it's called Inclu-City. And we bring in different kids, so it's a delegation of about 75 students from different schools, everything from schools over in Iowa to the reservations and also here in Omaha. And we have tough conversations about racism, discrimination, and we focus on other educational components. And we also partner with a lot of organizations in town, so we'll bring in expert content facilitators to help us with that education.
So that's for high schoolers.
Yes.
Give me another program, because that's not the only people you serve.
Yeah, absolutely not. No, we actually also host the Omaha Table Talk series.
We've talked about that on the show before.
Yes, and then more recently we're expanding more into doing businesses. So we're partnering with the Omaha Chamber of Commerce to do what we call DIG, which is the Diversity Inclusion Group, and it's working with several businesses, Mutual of Omaha, UP, First Data, Logier, several organizations all come together and we meet like the third Wednesday of every month to talk about those employee resource groups, which are a great way for an organization to really start that kind of diversity inclusion training. So it's First Data, Best Bank of the West, and Mutual all have around 7 to 8 employee resource groups ranging from ability to women's leadership councils, the Black Leadership Council, their GLBTQ sources. So it's really amazing to see these organizations really taking on this mantra, not just kind of talking the talk, but walking the walk.
Circle back to Table Talk. What kind of movement are you seeing through that series? The sort of conversation that maybe you'd once think, can that happen here? And now people are wanting to talk about these tough subjects.
Yeah, we're seeing a great rise in the number. There's on average about 50 to 60 people that register for the Omaha Table Talk. And these are really difficult conversations that you would typically say, you don't talk about that at dinner. But we're having meals.
Why not talk about it at dinner?
Exactly. Because if we're not opening up these like pathways for dialogue, we can't address it. And it's those things that are unspoken and unseen that continue to be a problem. And we're finding that through communication, you're absolutely solving so many problems by talking about it. And until we can address it, we can't fix it.
It's critical, right? Not only, and it shows because it's working. You start to see that work more. People want to understand more, right? And it's sort of that ability to, you know, do you disagree? Do you relate? All of that, but it's what do you understand? And I feel like that's what you represent. Though we've talked about a couple of these programs, the reason you're here today and the way we started the conversation was with your next event on the calendar. What is it?
So on April 2nd, we are hosting the Humanitarian Brunch, and it'll start at 12 o'clock at Hotel RL, formerly known as Ramada.
But they've renovated and it's beautiful.
Yes, it's lovely. We're actually doing a walkthrough later this week to go over some final event details. So we're bringing in Maria Hinojosa as the keynote speaker this year.
What's her story?
So she is an executive producer, award-winning journalist. She covers a lot of tough subjects such as immigration, race subjects, and kind of what it looks like for immigrants to come to the United States and how they assimilate or don't assimilate into the society that is set up. So we're really excited to have her. She's going to just talk about diversity and inclusion and how people in Omaha can get involved and how we can make this a more inclusive place for everyone here, from the people that have grown up and have been born in Omaha and have lived there their entire lives to refugees and immigrants that are coming from other countries.
And the 3 awards that you will, have you announced the winners yet, the recipients?
Yes.
So, okay, so we're not breaking ground here.
No.
I'm going to put you on the spot and then nobody else knows.
No worries.
So what are the categories and then who's taking home the award?
Sure. So the first award we will be giving is the Humanitarian Award, and that is going to the Tri-Faith Initiative for all of their efforts. In town, we also give the Otto Swanson Spirit of Service Award, and that's going to Gene Haynes, who's the principal over at North Magnet.
We love Mr. Haynes.
He's great.
Yeah. And then the third?
The third is the Volunteer of the Year Award, and that'll go to Nate Johnson, who is a graduate of Inclusivity, the 4-day leadership program, and he's also come back as a volunteer for
Cammy,
the organization.
We're looking at the information here about the brunch. Who would you invite? I mean, people who are just hearing about this, and they think, well, what's in it for me? I don't know if that's my sort of thing.
You know, I think it's a great opportunity because not only do we talk about, like, present these awards, but then we also do a snippet of all of our programs. So you'll get to learn about our business programming, you'll get to learn about what we do at Inclusivity, as well as our programs with schools. We're have a little bit of a pilot with middle schools right now, and so we don't necessarily get into our programming, but you'll get that snippet to learn what it is we do and kind of figure out who we have been, because we're coming up on our 80th year.
Yeah, right. So for people like me who are just figuring it out. But I'll tell you the reason you see the breakdown for the non-alcoholic ticket there is because there are Bloody Marys and mimosas.
Yep,
so
hosted Bloody Mary Mimosa Bar.
If you want to do that, then you see the price adjustment for the tickets there. But inclusive-communities.org. Beyond April 2nd, how can our viewers get involved?
So definitely try to make it to one of the Lozier Omaha Table Talk sessions.
Yeah, that's a good toe in the water.
Yes, it's tough conversation, but we provide a meal that evening, and we laugh together, we cry together. We have a really good time, and it's an opportunity to build lifelong connections in town.
And then you can also just contact me at the office. We come out and do programming at offices, schools, businesses to just really start that conversation and hopefully kind of create that culture that most places are looking at of diversity and inclusion.
Thank you so much for being here, both of you.
Thank you so much.
And have a great time come the 2nd.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Today, it's